Today is opening day of Knoebels Hallo Fun 2023, and we're going to have a lot of fun. Not only are we going to be riding some rides, we're going to see how well the park is decorated, and plus, there's a brand new ride that's set to debut, and I'm going to be telling you all about it. If you're ready for a spooky good time, all you got to do is come along with me. The park officially opens at 6 p.m. I am here around 4:30, quarter to 5. I wanted to arrive early enough to be able to walk around, see what's going on at the park, be able to talk to you guys without the mass crowds, a lot of noise, stuff like that. But first things first, let's talk about and check out the brand new ride that's supposed to debut for Hallo Fun Nights. Now, those of you that watched my behind the scenes video back in April, this ride was teased and mentioned at the very end of the video. And they said it may actually debut this year. Well, lo and behold, here it is. This is the Roco plane, Knoebels' newest acquisition to the park, a classic iconic ride, and it's actually in the location of the former Power Surge. And I do have some information I'm going to share with you telling you about the history of this ride and future plans of this location. At first glance, it does resemble a Ferris wheel, but the ride experience is completely different from a Ferris wheel. So I do have some information I want to share with you, which was provided to me by Knoebels' PR department, so I do want to thank Knoebels for doing that. So this ride was purchased from Joyland Amusement Park in Lubbock, Texas. Knoebels staff drove down there, picked it up, and delivered it here back to Pennsylvania. It was manufactured by the Eyerly Aircraft Company in 1961, and that same company manufactured Knoebels' satellite ride. The ride consists of 8 enclosed cage-style cars or capsules that rock as the ride moves, hence the name Roco plane. Passengers can partially control the ride experience with a handle on the inside to make it more mild or more thrilling. Knoebels fully refurbished the ride and is temporarily placed in the location of the Power Surge. Now, if you remember, Power Surge was here. It did operate this past season, but it operated under limited functionality. Typically, when it rises up in the air and spins around, the whole entire arm rotates as well. Well, it doesn't do that anymore. So the ride's actually out in the parking lot right now as we speak, and they're getting a brand new Power Surge for next season. It's going to be custom made for Knoebels. So this ride here is placed here temporarily for Hallo Fun Nights, but they are going to find a new permanent home for it for next season, 2024. I don't mind this location though. You got the Ferris wheel right there, and you have downdraft right there. But looking at these capsules or cages, you could definitely see the resemblance to the satellite, which was made by the same company. And this is a pretty wild ride, I will say that. It's unlike a Ferris wheel. It spins at a higher rate of speed, and depending on how you control the arm on the inside, you're either going to stay vertical or you're going to spin all the way around a 360, almost like the cages ride that is back there near the flyer. So it does have some resemblance to other rides here at the park. Now, there's not a whole lot of these rides in existence, but there are still some out there operating. Now, this ride is practically good as new right now. Knoebels fully refurbished it, gave it a brand new paint job. The one that I've seen operating in person was down in Ocean City, Maryland. I believe Knoebels Amusement Park does have a Roco plane, and my kid rode it and was terrified, came off screaming, crying. It is a wild, wicked ride. I'm honestly not sure if I would ride it myself because it does spin at a pretty high rate of speed, and I am prone to getting dizzy. But I have to say, to see a classic ride like this have a new life here at Knoebels is fantastic. And that's one of the things I love about Knoebels, is they take old or used or worn out rides, make them as good as new, and give them a new life here for others to enjoy, because rides like this, you don't find them every day. But here at Knoebels, you can find the Roco plane. Now, if you've never been here for Hallo Fun Nights, I could tell you that about 80% of the park is open. So the things that are not open is part of the kiddie rides and any water rides like the log flume or the skloosh, but pretty much everything else is open. Over here at the Spooky Time Theater, they're going to be having some special performances, Halloween themed shows. It says Knoebels Fright Show, a story-filled dance experience. And on site too, they do have numerous visiting food vendors, so you could get some additional good eats here at the park. Now, the one thing you will come across here are numerous photo opportunities throughout the park. Not only are certain things themed out and decorated, but they do provide photo opportunities like this. You could come here, stand next to the Headless Bride, and make a special moment of your trip here. And some of these places are really themed out. I haven't been to Hallo Fun Nights in a little bit of time, but I have to say they really are amping it up, stepping it up with their decorations here. One of the must-do rides for me today is, of course, the Haunted Mansion. My all-time favorite dark ride, and one of my top favorite rides here at Knoebels. It's been a few months since I've been on it. Last time I was here was the 50th anniversary celebration, and they have done a lot of updating for the 2023 season, but I'm curious to see if anything new has been added since I was here. But out front though, it looks quite awesome and very spooky. They got a nice hay bale scene with some scary skeletons and this big one watching over you with the moving eyes. And we come over to the cake. We got a hungry skeleton who's trying to get a piece of it there. Some little guys hanging around. Oh, they even have animatronics up here on the porch as well. So that's a nice new addition. So it makes you wonder what else could be on the inside. Well, we're definitely going to find that out. Even in the queue line here, there are some animated witches here as well. Well, they did a top-notch job here. This courtyard looks good as ever. They should leave it like this all year round. And of course, brand new for this year is your on-ride photo. So when you do ride through the Haunted Mansion, there is a particular spot that does take your photo. Come out here to the hearse and you'll see your picture. You take the number, take it to one of the photo booths and get it printed out.
The voices whisper their guidance through me. They carve out two paths for you to walk. The first is to run safely away. The other is to move forward into the land of it.
Even Laser Command is getting in the spirit for Halloween time because they have a zombie elimination. Looks like even the skeletons want to do some gem mining. I have to say, attention to detail with theming this year for Hallo Fun Nights is beyond my expectations. It's really above and beyond what I remember it in past years. Like everything, like the eyeballs up there, even a big skull right here. So the park looks better than ever. It has been a couple of years since I've been here, and whenever I come in the past, I've always come dressed up. You know, myself, Jill and Lil. Now, I've come as Jason Voorhees before with the Friday the 13th mask. I've come as a zombie. I've come as David Pumpkins. But masks are not allowed for adults. I'm not even sure about children, but masks are not allowed anymore. So I can't come here as Mr. Voorhees as much as I would love to. So since I'm just more or less documenting this experience and showing you the new things here, new changes for the 2023 season, I came as Mr. Voorhees on vacation. Not doing any killing today, just walking around representing Camp Crystal Lake. Even Phoenix Junction looks pretty awesome and spooky. They got the purple and orange lighting, old style chandeliers, some headless skeletons hanging about, giant spider. And right here by the Phoenix is a soupy stand with homemade halushki. That is some good Polish food right there. If you like pumpkins, well, they got a huge pumpkin right here. You actually go right into its mouth of it when you go into the tunnel for the Phoenix. Now there are two rides here. Two rides at the park that are heavily themed out for Hallo Fun Nights. One of them is the Pioneer Train, which is heavily themed out throughout the entire 1.5 mile track. And in the past they've had a Western theme, they've had an alien theme, so I'm curious to see what it's going to be for this year. It has a lot of special effects, no live actors, but that's something you can ride day or night. The other ride that's heavily themed out, and probably the most popular, is the Antique Cars, or also known as Gasoline Alley. This ride is basically all decked out through the entire course. On Saturdays and Sundays you can ride it during the daytime. It does shut down for a period of time and opens back up at night because they do have live actors. This is one of the best attractions here at Knoebels for Hallo Fun Nights. but also the lengthiest wait time as well. It's not unheard of to have wait times of up to 2 hours. And you can see they have an extended queue line here as well. And it will end up wrapping all the way down towards the campground. I won't be riding it today just because I don't have that much time, but I have ridden in the past and it's a lot of fun. And if you like to get scared or jump scared by live actors and to see some really neat theming throughout the course or the track, this is the ride to do it. Well, I just came upon something completely incredible. Something that's made local news and something that was advertised to be here at the park. Now, if you're familiar with Knoebels scooters, known as the bumper cars, well, check this out. This is a full-size replica version that a private owner has custom created, and it's an exact model, full-size scale of Knoebels bumper cars. Has the Lust Auto scooter on the side here, and I believe, if I'm not mistaken, this is a fully functioning vehicle. This could ride on the roads. It is road legal. I do see looks like a motorcycle front wheel, so this is probably, the base of it is probably a trike, I'm guessing, as the foundation, the starting point for this. But this is so completely awesome. Look at the full-size cushion seat, humongous oversized big rig wheel, automatic transmission, gauges. I mean, this thing is so cool. Definitely my favorite color as well. It does have a plate on it, so it is road legal. Can you imagine seeing this driving down the road? And if someone gets in your way, well, you just bump right into them. That is one of the coolest things I've ever seen. And I can only imagine how much fun it is to drive.
Excuse me, can you help a sweet old lady find her cauldron? I can't seem to find it anywhere. I gotcha! No! Oh, if you weren't so fast, you'd be in my cauldron right now!
I see the veil become thinner.
Oh, look what I see. Got some movement. I think they have a couple employees on there giving it a ride. And you can see how some of them are controlling the spin and rotation of it. I did speak with my contact, Stacy, in the PR department, and she did confirm that this will be open to the public tomorrow, Saturday, the second night of Hallo Fun Nights. Tonight is more or less just a preview, sneak peek at it. But at least we get to see it testing and operating under its own power as they are giving some employees a spin on it to get the experience. Looks like just like a traditional Ferris wheel too, they have to balance it out, so they have a rider on top and they're putting someone on the bottom. That does keep the weight equal and have it spin without any offset weight. So very familiar to a Ferris wheel, just a completely different ride experience. So here it is, full speed. That is a fast moving ride. There's the pulley mechanism system, very old school, but it works. Yeah, if I was to ride it, I'd be locking the bar, staying straight up and down, but you could just free float it like that and go completely all the way around 360. Very cool to see this here at Knoebels. Now, speaking of new rides, there's another new ride that many of you have been asking about, and it is the Bayern Curve. Now, that's something that we showed and talked about during my behind the scenes tour, and it was reported to open this season for the 2023 season. Well, as of today, the ride is still not open, and Stacy did explain to me there's a couple contributing factors as to why. Number one, they are having to still fabricate some parts as this is being completely rebuilt from scratch, so parts are taking longer than expected. More importantly, they had to pull away manpower from this ride because they had to focus on other projects such as the Roco plane, the Scenic skyway, which just opened up towards the end of the 2023 season. So there were priorities, but they said that in the off season this is going to be a priority, and it should be open very early in the season, if not on opening day for 2024. But this is going to be the fastest ride in the park, topping speeds of 60 miles an hour. Let's see if it's still here. There it is. JPVideos on YouTube. Oh, rain delay. We're about 5 minutes away from the park opening and the skies opened up. One ride that we could do while it's raining is the Haunted Mansion. So that's gonna be our first ride of the night. All right, here we go. Let's see if there's anything new. And look at the porch with the lights on. Completely awesome and a scary, spooky animatronic. Thank you. And there we are, number 8582, looking scared and terrified by the blasting horn and bright lights. With it continuing to rain, it's a good time to get something to eat. So I got myself a chili dog with sauerkraut and tri-taters, which are basically like potato type hash browns. I did put mustard on mine, so if you're a hot dog person, are you ketchup or mustard? Comment down below, tell me. That's some really good chili, wow. Surprisingly good. There's the tri-tater, triangle shapes. Nice crispy crunch. It's good, this is a staple here at the park. Sometimes I forget about them, but I got them today. Despite the rainy conditions though, it's actually keeping crowds way down. Typically it's packed shoulder to shoulder here. Opening weekend is not looking great so far weather-wise. Unexpected showers, which were supposed to be earlier today, are still raining now, and it's supposed to rain on and off tomorrow. Sunday looks like the best day of the three. Hopefully the remainder of the weekends are better, but at least for me, I don't have to worry about kind of waiting in line too long for rides or food, and I just have to kind of take cover when it does rain. I just found a throwback to the old days of Knoebels. Now, those of you who've been coming to this park for a long time may remember this ride. They're paying homage to it right here. You know what that is? That was a ride called the Cages. You actually stood in it, and it went around and you basically rocked it back and forth and tried to get it to go up over itself. I personally don't remember it. I've never been on it. I have seen pictures of it, and I know a lot of people do remember it. But the Cages, well, one of them is still existing right here at the pool. It finally stopped raining again. That means it's time for another ride. This time we're going to do the Pioneer Train and see what kind of theming they have for the 2023 Hallo Fun season here at Knoebels.
Alright, boys, we got them surrounded. Get ready to blow that scene. Forget the band. I see the goal. It's on the train. It's on the train. See it. Somebody on the train has got that goal.
It's not me. One of the other great things about coming to Hallo Fun nights is being able to experience the park in total darkness. Now that darkness has fallen upon us, and before we do any more rides, let's take a walk around the entire park, see how some of the rides look, more importantly, how some of the spooky decorations look. I have to say the non-Halloween themed rides have 0 lines. Satellite, no one in line. Italian Trapeze, no one in line, only one person getting off. The Galleon, about 3 people on it. Ride lines are very short or non-existent tonight. I was able to literally walk right on the bumper cars, so we're gonna do a little bumper car action. I do have the red, white, and blue patriotic bumper car.
Sweep the leg. You have a problem with that? No mercy.
So the owner is here of this full-size replica bumper car, and I learned a few things. So I was partially correct. There is a front end of a motorcycle, but it's actually built out of a car, the front part of a car. So there, where the seat is, the engine's underneath it. The car he used is a Chevy Avail, a real compact car. So the front portion of the car is the rear, and he used a motorcycle for the front. It is street legal and registered as a trike. Corn dog was pretty good. I'm taking coverage now under this closed stand. The rain has come back. It's been off and on a little bit here. Every time I think it's stopping, it picks up again. There is one more ride I want to do before I leave here tonight. And it's a ride I haven't been able to do all season because it hasn't been open until just recently. So fingers crossed the rain stops long enough for me to ride it. If not, I'll be forced to wait until next year.
1 minute later.
I decided that despite the rain, I'm going to go on the ride that I've been wanting to ride all season. Let's go do it right now. I've done it. My very first ride on the Scenic Skylift for the 2023 season at Knoebels. I was very disappointed that each time I came this year, this ride was not operating. That's because we were waiting for parts to repair it. And towards the end of the season, on the weekends in September, it became operational. So I knew that if it came for Hallo Fun nights, that I'd be able to ride it. And despite the rainy conditions and a really wet chair, I am so glad to be on this. This is one of my top favorite rides, just because it's peaceful, relaxing, gives you spectacular views of the park on the way back down. So I'm going to enjoy the ride up, and when we come down, we'll enjoy that together. We arrived at the very top. Going to make our spin around and head back down. Still drizzling out, but it's not all that bad. Makes for some nice ambient sounds. Now in the past, when I've been here for Hallo Fun nights, they've had some decorations up here on the ground, usually some skeletons or some pumpkins or something laying on the grass, but I don't see any this year. And views are not going to be as good as normal because there's an extreme amount of fog and basically a low-lying cloud over the entire park. So it's going to be more like a soft glow than bright and vibrant. So this view right here is the whole reason I personally love to ride the Scenic Skyway at night. And it's because of that. I know camera is definitely not doing it justice because it's wide angle and it's dark and it's foggy, but let me just tell you, the view with my two eyes, I miss this view. It's been too long since I've seen this view and enjoyed this ride. But it's always very fascinating because up on top is really quiet. You get just a sense that the park is down here, and as you descend down the mountain, it just gets louder and brighter and kind of transforms right before your eyes. And seeing that Ferris wheel is, it's like a screensaver on a computer. You can sit there and watch it for hours. Now if you do come the last weekend of operation, which is I believe like Halloween weekend, I think the 29th maybe, most of these leaves will be gone. You'll have even a better view of the park. The sky is looking really neat though with that fog, because it's a combination of like fog, like a low-lying cloud, smoke from these smoke machines here, and smoke from the campground. Just creates a nice soft glow just above the rides. Down there is Cosmos Curves, where the former high-speed thrill coaster used to be. Behind the trees is the Italian trapeze. And Down below us to the right is going to be the Whipper, and the Impulse is going up the hill as we speak. We're not going to get a good view of it here at the pole. Oh, there we go. There's a satellite we talked about earlier, made by the same company that made the Roco plane, Irely Aircraft. After having that corn dog, I'm no longer hungry, but I am in the mood for something sweet. And I have something in mind that I think will hit my sweet spot. Popped in the arcade here. It's one of the dry, bright places. So for my sweet treat, I got a raspberry vanilla ice cream. And it's one of my favorite combinations here at the park of ice cream. Usually chocolate vanilla works, but when I have raspberry, I always choose that one. Yep, that's exactly what I needed. hopefully you enjoy that photo montage. I ended up taking a lot more photos than I normally do, but I couldn't help myself. There's just so many cool, awesome photo opportunities with the decorations, the lighting, the rides. So I just went a little bit crazy with the camera, but that makes for a really good photo montage. I could really showcase the park in a great way for opening night. But it is a soggy, dreary, wet opening night. It's raining pretty steady right now. I'm actually under this gazebo by the carousel, which you can probably hear. And they have this photo taking thing, and at first I thought it was put together incorrectly because the sign's upside down. Well, they have a sign in front of it saying, take the picture, then invert it, and then it'll look how it's supposed to look. So it's actually a kind of a creative photo idea, like you're being hung upside down. Off camera, I did meet a few viewers, 2 separate ones, and I was actually surprised that I got recognized because I was wearing my Jason Voorhees vacation shirt, where I wasn't supposed to be recognized, but I was. But I was staying out of the rain by the carousel. There was a family that met me, and we shook hands and talked for a minute. And there was another individual who I met by the one of the buildings over here. He's like, "Is that you, JP?" I'm like, "Yeah, it's me." And we ended up actually going on the bumper car rides together. So it was nice meeting you guys, and hopefully if you're watching this video, feel free to say hello in the comments, let me know it was you. With this rainy weather though, it's a twofold. It's bad for business, it's good for those of us who are here because the park is pretty empty, comparatively speaking. Hallo Fun nights are usually some of the busiest nights at the park. And wait times for rides are no more than 30 minutes at the most. That's probably the antique cars. The Pioneer train is maybe 20 minutes. Nearly everything else that's non-Halloween themed is no more than like a 5-minute wait, if that. I walked on the bumper cars, I got on the Scenic skyway, the Haunted Mansion. I mean, literally walked right on. Food lines, no wait at all. Got to have a corn dog, which was nice too because corn dogs aren't typically sold here, but the one food vendor had corn dogs, so that really hit the spot. It was a really good corn dog. But yeah, it's a lousy opening weekend with weather, but if you're here, you made the most of it. But you're definitely wet. I'm kind of soggy, but I'm not going to complain. I really got to experience the park. After a brief hiatus of not being here for a few years for Hallo Fun nights, I have to say Knoebels really did a fantastic job. The park looks incredible. The theming, attention to detail, the creativity. I mean, even like some silly stuff like skeletons in the mobility scooters and the strollers, and a lot of animatronics too, and like lighting, fog machines. They really went all out. So hats off to all the Knoebels staff and team here. And another nice perk too was seeing the giant bumper car, a car that's modeled after the Knoebels bumper cars, the Lus Auto scooter. So a full-size version, and to learn that's classified as a trike. It started off as a Chevy Aveo and a motorcycle. And it's a custom one-of-a-kind creation, and it's able to ride on the road. So that was a really cool thing. And lastly, the Roco plane. Got to see it in operation. Not open to the public yet, but supposed to be open tomorrow, going forth for the remainder of the weekend. But don't forget, that's only its temporary home. Next season, there's going to be a brand new power surge going in that location once it gets delivered, and they're going to find a permanent home somewhere in the park for Roco planes. So although I won't be riding it this year, next year maybe. If not, if you do ride it, feel free to comment down below, tell me how it was. But I know it's a fast spinning ride, something I'm not too crazy about. I feel like there's something in my lip here. I just want to thank all of you for coming along for my solo trip here for opening day of Knoebels Hallo Fun Nights 2023. I had a fantastic time, got to ride some of my favorite rides, had some really terrific food, and more importantly, got to hang out with all of you, so thank you once again. Until next time, I'll see you in the next video.